Welcome back to Penny Collector, your ultimate destination for coin lovers and collectors from all around the world. In today's video, we are diving deep into the fascinating history, design, and market value of the 1992 USA 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. Whether you're a beginner in the world of coin collecting or a seasoned numismatist, you'll find this coin both intriguing and historically significant. So sit back, relax, and let's uncover the story behind the 1992 Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and it features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, on the obverse side. The coin was designed by German-American sculptor Felix Schlag, and it has remained a staple in American currency for decades. The 1992 Jefferson nickel continues this legacy, carrying the same design elements with some minor variations and mint mark distinctions. On the front side of the coin, you will notice the left-facing portrait of President Jefferson. Above his head is the word "In God We Trust," while to the right it reads "Liberty" followed by the year of mintage, which in this case is 1992. Depending on the mint, you might also see a small letter below the year, such as D for the Denver Mint or P for the Philadelphia Mint, indicating where the coin was struck. Turning the coin over to its reverse side, you will find the image of Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's famous Virginia home. Just above Monticello is the Latin phrase E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. Below the image, the word Monticello is clearly inscribed, followed by 5 cents and United States of America. This iconic design remained largely unchanged for decades, making it one of the most recognized coins in American history. The 1992 Jefferson nickel was produced in large quantities, with both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint striking hundreds of millions of coins. Specifically, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 450 million nickels, while the Denver Mint contributed over 390 million. These high mintage numbers mean that the 1992 Jefferson nickel is not considered a rare coin in circulated condition. However, collectors often look for coins in excellent uncirculated condition or coins with errors or unique characteristics that can significantly raise their value. Now let's talk about value. As of today, the typical 1992 Jefferson nickel found in pocket change or circulated condition is worth around its face value of 5 cents. However, if you come across a coin in uncirculated condition, the value can range from 50 cents to $2, depending on its grade and eye appeal. Coins graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can fetch even higher prices, often between $5 and $15 or more. Additionally, if you are lucky enough to find a 1992 Jefferson nickel with a rare error, such as an off-center strike, double die, or a clipped planchet, those coins can be worth anywhere from $20 to several $100s, depending on the severity and visibility of the error. Collectors should always examine the coin's condition carefully. Look for strong details in Jefferson's hair, sharp lettering, and a full strike on Monticello. Luster, color, and absence of scratches also play a huge role in determining value. It's highly recommended to store high-quality coins in protective holders to maintain their condition over time. If you're planning to get your coin graded, make sure it is free of fingerprints and debris, as these can impact the final grading result. The 1992 Jefferson nickel is not just a piece of metal, it's a piece of American history. It represents a time when coins were still predominantly used in everyday commerce, and each coin told the story of the economy, design trends, and craftsmanship of its era. Although it might not be the rarest or most valuable coin, it is certainly one worth having in any well-rounded coin collection. It's also a great coin for beginners to start learning about grading, mint marks, and historical context. As we wrap up this deep dive into the 1992 USA 5-cent coin, I encourage you to take a fresh look at your own coin jar. You never know, you might already have a valuable or high-grade 1992 Jefferson nickel sitting among your spare change. Whether you're collecting for fun, investment, or history, Every coin has a story to tell, and it's up to us collectors to uncover and preserve those stories. Next up, the ultimate destination for coin enthusiasts, collectors, and history lovers. In today's video, we are going to explore a classic and underrated piece of American coinage history, the 1980 USA 5-cent coin, commonly known as the Jefferson nickel. This coin may seem ordinary at first glance, but it holds a unique place in numismatic history. By the end of this video, you'll not only appreciate the coin's design and background, but also understand its collector value and what it might be worth in today's market. So let's begin our journey into the story of the 1980 Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been a part of U.S. coinage since 1938, when it replaced the Buffalo nickel. The coin was designed by Felix Schlag, a German-American sculptor who won a design competition held by the U.S. Mint. His depiction of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side and the iconic image of Jefferson's Monticello home on the reverse became a staple of the coin for decades. The 1980 version continues this tradition and showcases the same elements that collectors have come to recognize and admire. On the front, or obverse side of the coin, you will find a left-facing portrait of President Thomas Jefferson. The words, "In God We Trust," are placed along the left edge, while the word "Liberty" and the year 1980 are located on the right. Directly next to the year, you may also notice a small letter, either a D for Denver, a P for Philadelphia, or an S for the San Francisco Mint, if you have a proof version. That small mint mark tells you exactly where the coin was made. Flipping the coin to the reverse side reveals the famous image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate. Above it is the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. Beneath the building, the word Monticello appears, followed by 5 cents and United States of America. This design remained unchanged for many years and is one of the most recognizable reverse designs in American coin history. The detail in Monticello's columns, dome, and base is an important factor in grading the coin's condition, and collectors often look for full steps on Monticello, a feature that indicates a strong strike with complete detail. When it comes to mintage numbers, the 1980 Jefferson nickel was produced in extremely high quantities, which means most examples are very common. Over 373 million nickels were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, identified with the P Mint mark, and more than 593 million were produced at the Denver Mint, marked with the D. Additionally, proof coins were minted in San Francisco, with the S Mint mark, and around 3.5 million of these high-quality proof coins were made. Because of these high mintages, the 1980 Jefferson nickel is typically worth just its face value if found in circulated condition. However, as with many coins, the true value lies in its condition, rarity of errors, and appeal to collectors. Let's now talk about the coin's value in today's market. A regular 1980 nickel in circulated condition is generally worth 5 cents. However, coins in mint state condition, especially those graded MS65 or higher by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC, can be worth significantly more. A brilliant uncirculated 1980p or 1980D Jefferson nickel might sell for $1 to $3, depending on quality, luster, and sharpness of strike. High-grade examples with full steps designation, meaning all steps on Monticello are clearly visible, can fetch between $10 and $50, or even more in top grades. Proof coins from San Francisco in PR67 or higher can also sell for several dollars each, particularly if they have deep cameo contrast. But what really excites collectors are the rare errors that sometimes show up in circulation. The 1980 Jefferson nickel is known to have a few error varieties, including off-center strikes, double-die obverses, and clipped planchets. An off-center strike where the design is clearly shifted can sell for $20 to $100 depending on how dramatic the shift is. Double die errors, where the lettering or portrait appears doubled, are especially sought after and can command premium prices. If you find a 1980 nickel that looks unusual, it's always worth getting a second opinion or sending it in for grading. Another important thing for collectors to watch out for is coin condition. Coins with minimal wear, no scratches, a bright original luster, and sharp details are the most desirable. The Jefferson nickel series is known for weak strikes, so a strong strike with complete Monticello steps and full detail in Jefferson's hair can make a big difference in value. Always store valuable coins in protective holders to prevent damage from air, moisture, or accidental handling. In conclusion, the 1980 Jefferson nickel may not be a rare or expensive coin for most people, but it remains a classic piece of American currency with historical and collectible value. For coin collectors, it serves as a reminder of the rich design traditions and craftsmanship of U.S. coinage. Whether you're hunting for errors, chasing full steps nickels, or building a full date set, the 1980 nickel definitely earns its spot in a serious collection. It also offers a great entry point for new collectors who are just beginning their journey in the numismatic world. Next up, we are turning our attention to the 1998 USA 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. This coin may appear ordinary to some, but for collectors and enthusiasts, even the most common pieces hold historical value, artistic detail, and investment potential. Today, we'll take a closer look at the design, mintage, hidden details, and current market value of the 1998 Jefferson nickel. So let's dive right in and explore the world behind this fascinating coin. The Jefferson nickel has been a mainstay of American coinage since 1938. Designed by German-American sculptor Felix Schlag, the coin replaced the Buffalo nickel and introduced a new era of coin design featuring the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson. The design of the 1998 nickel stays true to the original concept, with only minor adjustments made throughout the decades. On the obverse side, or front of the coin, you'll see a left-facing portrait of President Jefferson. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" on the left, and "Liberty," along with the year 1998 on the right. Just beside the year, you'll also find a small mint mark, either a P for the Philadelphia Mint, a D for the Denver Mint, or an S for the San Francisco Mint if it's a proof coin. Turning the coin over to the reverse side reveals one of the most iconic images in American coin history: Monticello, the Virginia home of Thomas Jefferson. At the top is the Latin motto, "A pluribus unum," meaning out of many, one. Below Monticello, you'll find the word Monticello, followed by the denomination 5 cents, and finally, United States of America. This design remained virtually unchanged for over 65 years, making it a familiar and beloved coin in circulation. Collectors often look for fine details in this reverse side, especially sharp lines in Monticello's columns and the elusive full steps strike, which can significantly raise a coin's value. When it comes to mintage, the 1998 Jefferson nickel was produced in large numbers. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 685 million coins, while the Denver Mint produced over 896 million, making the 1998 D slightly more common than the 1998 P. In addition to these business strikes, the San Francisco Mint produced nearly 2 million proof coins in 1998. Which are specially made for collectors using polished dies and planchets to create a mirror-like finish. Because of the high mintage numbers, the 1998 nickel is not considered rare in circulated condition, but there are certain qualities and error types that can make this coin valuable to collectors. Let's now talk about value. A typical 1998 nickel in circulated condition is still worth its face value of 5 cents. However, if you happen to find one in mint state condition, meaning uncirculated and free from wear, it can be worth significantly more. A 1998 P or 1998 D nickel graded MS65 by a professional grading service can fetch between $1 and $3 depending on the coin's luster and strike quality.
If the coin is designated with full steps, which means all 5 or 6 steps on Monticello are visible and well struck, the value can jump to $10, $20, or even more in high grades like MS66 or MS67. These coins are not easy to find in circulation, so finding one in excellent condition is always a bonus for any collector. Now let's talk about errors, one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting. Error coins are pieces that left the U.S. Mint with mistakes during the minting process, and they're often highly sought after. While the 1998 Jefferson nickel doesn't have many famous or widely documented errors, there have been reports of off-center strikes, die cracks, and double die varieties. An off-center strike occurs when the blank planchet is not properly aligned with the dies, resulting in a coin where the design is shifted. These types of errors can be worth anywhere from $20 to over $100 depending on the severity of the error. Double die errors, where some of the lettering or design appears doubled, can also raise the coin's value if confirmed. Always inspect your coins closely. You never know when you might find an error that others have missed. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are also highly collectible. These coins were never intended for circulation and are sold directly to collectors in special sets. The 1998 S Proof nickel features an ultra-sharp strike with frosted details and a mirror-like background. In PR67 or PR68 condition, these proof nickels typically sell for $2 to $5, while top-graded deep cameo versions can go even higher depending on market demand and rarity.
Next up, we turn our attention to a coin that may seem common on the surface, but carries with it decades of American minting tradition, the 1979 USA 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. This humble nickel has circulated in millions of hands across the country, but for coin collectors, it's much more than just 5 cents. Today, we'll dive into the full history of the 1979 Jefferson nickel, explore its design features, mint marks, rare errors, and learn what this coin is really worth in today's collector market. The Jefferson nickel has been in continuous production since 1938, when it replaced the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the Jefferson nickel honored Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence. His portrait appears on the obverse side, and the reverse shows his beloved home, Monticello. The 1979 issue follows this same traditional design. On the obverse of the 1979 nickel, you'll see a left-facing bust of Thomas Jefferson. To the left of the portrait is the motto, "In God We Trust," while on the right side you'll find the word Liberty, followed by the year 1979. If your coin was minted in Denver or San Francisco, you'll see a small D or S next to the date, while coins struck in Philadelphia will either have no mint mark or a P, depending on the variety. Notably, 1979 was one of the last years before the Philadelphia Mint began consistently placing a P mint mark on nickels starting in 1980. Turning the coin over to the reverse side, we see the iconic image of Monticello. At the top, just above the building, is the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. Below the image is the word Monticello, followed by 5 cents, and United States of America. While the design had remained largely unchanged for decades, collectors prize nickels with strong detail, especially on Monticello's steps. A well-struck nickel with visible full steps, meaning the steps on Monticello appear clearly with no interruption, is considered far more desirable and valuable. The 1979 Jefferson nickel was produced in very large quantities. Over 463 million were minted at Philadelphia, about 325 million came out of the Denver Mint, and over 3 million proof nickels were struck at the San Francisco Mint. Due to these high mintage numbers, most 1979 nickels found in circulation today are considered common, especially in worn condition. But for collectors, condition is everything. A coin that has been well preserved with full detail and original mint luster can be worth far more than face value. In circulated condition, a 1979 Jefferson nickel is typically worth its face value of 5 cents, but in uncirculated, mint-state condition, especially at MS65 or higher, these coins can be worth between $1 and $5 depending on the mint mark and quality of the strike. Coins with full steps designation bring even more, sometimes reaching values between $10 and $30 or more for high-grade examples. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, which feature a mirror-like finish and frosted design elements, are highly sought after by collectors and typically range from $1 to $10 depending on grade and cameo quality. Now let's talk about something that truly excites collectors: mint errors. The 1979 Jefferson nickel is known to have several types of error coins that can dramatically increase its value. These errors include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and double die obverses. An off-center strike, where the design is not properly centered on the planchet, can be worth anywhere from $20 to $100 depending on how severe the misalignment is. Clipped planchets, where part of the coin is missing due to an error in the blank cutting process, can also command premiums in the $15 to $75 range. One of the most valuable types is a double die, where the coin shows doubling in letters or features, particularly around Liberty or Jefferson's portrait. These are much rarer and can be worth well over $100 if authenticated and graded. Even coins without visible errors can still carry value if they are in pristine, uncirculated condition. Collectors are especially interested in coins that have been preserved with no scratches, stains, or wear. Coins with strong luster, full details, and a sharp strake, especially those with full steps, are always worth a second look. If you believe you have a high-grade 1979 Jefferson nickel, consider submitting it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for professional evaluation. In conclusion, while the 1979 USA 5-cent coin may not be the rarest or most valuable nickel in existence, it remains an important piece of American numismatic history. It represents the continuity of the Jefferson nickel series, a design that has stood the test of time and continues to be appreciated by collectors across generations. Whether you're just starting out in coin collecting or already building a comprehensive Jefferson nickel set, the 1979 issue deserves its place in your collection. It offers opportunities to learn about mint marks, strike quality, grading, and even mint errors that could turn an ordinary-looking nickel into a small treasure. Thank you for watching this detailed breakdown of the 1979 Jefferson nickel here on Penny Collector. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment with your thoughts or personal finds, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more coin stories, values, and collecting tips. We're constantly exploring coins from every corner of U.S. history, and every coin has a story just waiting to be discovered. Keep checking your change, examining your nickels, and who knows, your next big find might just be an ordinary coin hiding an extraordinary secret. Until next time, happy hunting and keep collecting with Penny Collector.